Today we're going to be making some wheat flour tortillas. We're using wheat flour because that's what we have on hand. We don't have any corn flour to make proper tortillas, so we're just going to be using all-purpose white flour. We're going to need some salt, some oil, baking powder, and of course measuring spoons and measuring cups, a mixing bowl, and a rolling pin.
Or you can also use pretty much any cylinder you have on hand. So I've seen people use wine bottles, I've seen people use PVC piping. It can quite literally be anything cylindrical.
So this recipe today is going to make 16 small tortillas. So to start off, we're going to use 3 cups of flour. And next, we add the salt. For the salt, I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And next, I'm going to be adding baking powder. Just 1 teaspoon of that as well. And after that, all you want to do is mix those 3 ingredients until homogeneous. You just want it all to be mixed thoroughly in. Okay, so I'd say that's probably good enough. And next, what you want to do is in the center of the flour, you want to make a little well. I'm going to start by adding my oil, which is going to be 1/3 cup of oil. And after the oil, I'm going to add 1 full cup of warm water. And with the oil and water already in there, all you have to do is mix it. And you want to mix from the bottom up.
That way all the dry mixes with the wet.
It's already starting to get quite doughy. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to remove the dough from the paddle and I'm going to start actually using my hands. Okay, now that everything's mixed, you're going to want to knead the dough on a floured surface for just a couple minutes. So I'm just going to flour the surface here. Doesn't have to be super floured. So also notice the texture of the dough. It's mixed, but it's not smooth. So you want to smooth it out during this kneading process. And as you can see, it's already starting to smooth out. So when you're done, it's going to be much smoother, not sticky or anything like that, so you can handle it without it being stuck to yourself. And it'll easily form a ball. So the next step is to be separating this into equal parts, to 16 equal parts. So I'm going to quarter it first. So half and half. And half. Doesn't have to be a perfect science. And then next, what you're going to do is now quarter each quarter. So the next step, once you have all 16, is to just flatten them. So I just like to use my hand, flatten them into a small disc.
Sorry for the cat noises. Our cat is asking for attention, but we will as soon as we're finished this.
I should note that you're not rolling these out yet. Right now you're just flattening them, and then we're going to let them sit for 15 minutes, and that's going to allow them to proof, I suppose. They don't have yeast in them, so they're not going to rise like a bread will, but they are still going to proof because of the baking powder.
It also allows all the flour to hydrate properly.
And just cover these up with a kitchen towel. And again, I'm just going to let this sit for 15 minutes as is, and we'll come back to it and start rolling. And there you go. So they don't rise as if it's a loaf of bread or anything like that, but they do proof. They're definitely softer than they were. But now what we want to do is use the rolling pin or, as stated earlier, you know, a bottle of wine, anything cylindrical to physically roll out. Okay, so while I'm rolling these out, Marina's going to be in the background. She's going to be making separations between the layers just until they're cooked so that the two layers don't fuse together. We're going to be using parchment. You can use parchment. You could probably use paper towel or even a towel to separate layers.
Or maybe tinfoil also if you have it?
Yeah, probably even tinfoil as well. You just want to separate layers so that they don't fuse together before they're cooked. And when rolling these out, you want to roll them out to about 6 or 7 inches, give or take. And that will be the circumference of your, or rather the diameter of your tortillas. Okay, and they're certainly not perfect, but this is what you're going to get pre-cooked tortilla. to look like. Now, I'm certainly not professional, so very few of these are going to be perfect circles.
Emphasis on the home cook for this entire section. We got our little bundle of scrolls here.
Before I throw the tortillas onto the pan, I'm actually going to start by preheating the pan. So I have it on high right now, just until the pan is nice and hot, and then I'm going to turn it down to a medium. We're not going to be using oil in this recipe because there's already oil in the tortillas. So using oil in the pan is just going to be too much oil absorbed into the tortillas themselves. Okay, the pan is nice and hot, so I'm going to right away turn that down to about a 5, a medium. And I'm going to throw the tortilla just right on. And you're only cooking these for literally a minute. You just want it to bubble a little bit, and then you're going to flip it, and you're going to let that bubble as well. You should be getting a nice golden brown. If it starts to blacken a little bit, that's okay.
And I'm going to move you guys closer so you can get a look at the way things are starting to bubble. There you go.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's already some bubbles forming up in this corner here. And I can start to see bubbles forming across the tortilla, so I might even be ready. See how that's non-stick already? I can flip that over. It's nice and dry, starting to get a little bit of a golden brown on this side, so it's slightly underdone on this side. So I'm going to cook it on the other side, and I'm going to flip it back temporarily. There you go. That's what you want to be seeing, is you want to see the golden browning on the bubbles themselves.
And if we were to do this with oil, you'd see a lot of the oil absorbed into the dough.
There we go. I would say that's good. And so I'll move on to the next tortilla. You no longer have to stack these in parchment or towels or what have you. They will not fuse together anymore. And so I'll just grab my next one and throw it right on. Now with this recipe, these tortillas, you're going to get 16 of them, unless you want more, want less, bigger, smaller. Doing it into 16s, you're going to get roughly 4 to 6 inches per tortilla.
But as Dylan said before, you can easily cut them to be larger. So instead of doing 16ths, you can do 8ths or 6ths, even if you want those really large flour tortillas.
And I'm just going to point out again, we have some bubbles starting across the entire tortilla. So this should be literally seconds away from flipping. So I'm going to do that flip right now, and that is a perfect cook right there. And as you can see, it's literally maximum 1.5 minutes per tortilla in total. And there you have it. These are nice little tortillas. They go great for tacos, for fajitas, even quesadillas. If you're doing larger tortillas, so maybe you're cutting them into 8ths instead of 16ths, you might even get away with doing some burritos. They'd even go great for a sandwich wrap. If you're going to be using these right away, you can just use them as is. But if you're going to have them, say, tomorrow or the next day, we don't recommend putting it in the fridge as it'll get stale. We would actually recommend freezing these and then de-thawing them before you actually have them for dinner.
And you can reuse the parchment or the tinfoil or whatever it was that you used to separate the raw dough. You can use those between the cooked ones if you stick them in the freezer. That way you can access them and they don't get stuck together. Another thing you can do with excess tortillas, if you don't want to freeze them, is you can actually make them into chips. So if you cut them into triangles roughly, or whatever shape you prefer, you can either bake them. I've never tried frying them, but you probably can try frying them as well. And then you can have some homemade chips for nachos, or any dip of your pleasing. Cheers to good food
And good company.